Well, hello. Good evening, maybe good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to the Spiritual View. We are a group of soul sisters merging our magic, and we are so delighted that you decided to join us for this live session. Tonight, we're actually going to be talking about the full moon in Libra on Saturday, the 12th of April. So, welcome to the session. And again, I'm going to make sure that everyone introduces themselves. Let's just go around the horn. We've got Marsha from the Salty Mama Soul Tribe, the Awakened Jen, Dawn from Astrology and Tarot Alchemy, and myself and Wendy joining you live. And again, we just wanted to say hi to everyone and just say again, just a moment of gratitude for reaching over 1,000 subscribers over the past couple of weeks. We're very thrilled and excited. We could not do that without you, and we are very grateful for your presence and also building this spiritual community together. So hello to everyone. Just a couple of announcements before we get going, because we're going to geek out on astrology tonight around the full moon. But speaking of which, Dawn and her lovely colleague Nat are going to be doing a full moon ritual this Saturday, the 12th of April at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we've already posted the link and everything that you need to know. So be on the lookout for that. And if tonight you would like a card pulled as it relates to the full moon and what that means for you, please put a heart in the chat and we'll do the best we can to get to everyone. So again, welcome, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with just a very quick grounding, and I'd like everyone just to sit back and relax wherever you are, and would ask everyone just to close your eyes. And we're just going to take a couple of nice, deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, and in through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we are visualizing where we are, I'd like you to visualize that you are floating on your back in this beautiful pool of warm, relaxing, inviting water. And you're surrounded by rose petals. The fragrance is quite intoxicating. And you are absorbing the beautiful energy of this warm, beautiful water with this beautiful white light shining all the way through. And as you continue to deep breathe, allow your body just to relax in this beautiful body of water. Connect to the energy of the water and the beauty of the flowers, the fragrance around you. Breathe it in, relax, and let go of any energies in your chakras that do not belong. As you breathe in love, and breathe out whatever needs to go. Relax and let this body of water embrace you, surround you, cleanse you. Because in this full moon, we are cleansing those relationships, all those energies that no longer need to be part of us. And we are reminded tonight, as we connect to the heavens with Source and the divine, and as we absorb the water from Mother Gaia, as above, so below, we are connecting our energies, clearing, releasing, but inviting in this beautiful new energy that wants to come in with love, kindness, compassion, and forgiveness. And remember that you are loved. You are Source. You are God. And we are one community. And as you feel around you, you are not alone. You are surrounded in this lovely water, these beautiful souls all around you, connecting with these beautiful energies that cleanse us and allow the new to come in. Take one deep breath in, big release out. All right, we're ready for dawn. Over to you.
Thank you. It is a really big moon, and it's very much about relationships. Stop and think what Venus has been doing and affecting us since March 1st. Everything we've been going through in our relationships, what has been brought to light for us. And the moon in Libra is on one side, and you have the sun on the other. The sun is conjunct Chiron. So what is being illuminated can be healed. That is very important. We are seeing people in a different light since we've had this Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde. Now Mercury is direct. Venus, within an hour, with less than an hour of this being a full moon perfection, Venus stations direct. So she is at a standstill when this full moon is taking place. She then will be headed back in the direction of Saturn, the North Node, and Mercury. She's actually conjunct all of them. So she has a definite place where she's going, but she is going to need to release some energy. With this full moon, we have a square to Mars and Cancer. Now, this will affect what's going on in the collective, because those are all houses that affect the collective: Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. The Mars energy, thankfully, is trine what's in Pisces, but it is square what's that full moon energy. So to me, it's very much about what decisions are you going to make about your relationships going forward? What has all this time with Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde been trying to tell you? You have places that you will need to be going, because the North Node and Venus are going to be talking again. And Saturn is there, that wisdom that can come with Saturn. Hard-earned wisdom, but wisdom. So I think that's what we need to realize. And we have, until tomorrow, well, actually till Saturday, that we are going to be thinking about these things with our own personal relationships. And what do we need to release? There's forgiveness there, but there's also boundaries that need to be set, what you need to be doing on a personal level for yourself, because this should be about things that are going to bring you forward. The astrology isn't done for the collective. It's just getting started, and it's going to get really big really soon. Meaning we are going to be in a beautiful position to help other people. We are going to be that light from the moon that is going to help other people with their relationships. I think stepping back, looking at your emotions, one of the things that is happening is the moon is in what they call a yod, a finger of God. That is emotion. That is also feminine energy. And Venus rules this full moon. So we have to take very seriously our emotions and what our emotions have been all during this retrograde. I think those are the biggest lessons for ourselves. And because Mars was in Cancer, the sign of family and ancestors, we may have had issues involving our family coming up and long held things that we need to heal from. Chiron will help us do that. So take the time over the next 48 hours to really think about all of those things, because it is 48 hours away, this full moon. Sink into it, meditate on it, decide where you want to go from here. I think that's the most important thing to do going forward. Does anybody else have anything to add to the astrology or comments?
Well, I'll just bring up what I had said earlier about the conjunction with Venus being not the Saturn Venus conjunction, being that if you did the work, this is where you get your reward. So, like, that's something positive that we can look at out of all of this that's been happening. So, if you didn't, then it's probably not going to be so fun for you. But I mean, the people who've been watching us, we've been doing the work. So,
Yeah, and as you both pointed out, John, this is the closing cycle of an eclipse, and Saturn and Venus is involved in that yod with Uranus and Taurus. So, Jen, it is absolutely fated karmic alignments and a closing of a cycle, and everybody just has to be prepared to have those brave, honest moments where you have to take action, or moments where you have to say something, say it with compassion, but move on, let things go. Especially with Mercury direct, it's time to have conversations. And I really believe that there's been so much growth over this past time since this initially started back on October 2nd as an eclipse at 10 degrees of Libra. So what have we learned since that time about relationships? Because Libra is all about our relationship with another person. And that's what the universe does. It gives us those lessons over that 6-month period of time for us to learn something. And to me, I think it's been a beautiful time. It's been Mars retrograde, Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde. That is nothing but work. During a time where there's eclipses, during a time where the eclipses are around the North Node, right? So let me put it this way. I think you can safely say you won't have anything as strong as this ever again. So rest assured that that part is over. Now you decide. Now you decide what you're going to do. It's all yours from this point on. It's like, okay, this is it.
So we could see some towers. Either we could see some big tower energy. Maybe we do it. We toss around cherry bomb in our life, or someone else does.
Well, the nodes are going to do that. That's what I keep saying. Yeah. Regardless, it was the nodes. The nodes are there, so the nodes are going to take you to your where you're supposed to go along your path. And if you don't, they will give you towers to say, you were not listening. So, and with the energy in Pisces, I think this is for the collective meant to go towards us finding our more spiritual path on a daily basis. That Virgo South energy, releasing what isn't good for us, bad habits, over self-criticism, that's being released, and going into that higher level of being spiritual. That's why we're here and we're learning, because we're all learning about all of this. And there's such strong astrology coming, more for the collective than for us, because we've done the work. I think we're just there to help other people process as we go along and we go through things, because getting caught up in the news too much is something that's really tough for people to, I think it can be very confusing. I think there's too much information out there that isn't accurate. And I think that time will solve those problems, but not yet.
I think that we are also creating the path for others. And so, like, just, the way that we are managing this energy is creating the guidebook for those that are going to come behind us.
And I think all of us were like, wow, aren't you glad this is over? So it doesn't matter how spiritual you are, you still have to do the work. I think that's the important part too.
And
but
see, like, I had people reaching out that I know, like, they are high vibration people and they have been struggling through this. And, it's like, I just keep saying, if we're having this hard of a time with it and we do know what's happening, just imagine those people who have no idea. Yeah. If that doesn't bring compassion just for everybody, it's been rough, even for the ones who knew what was happening.
Oh, I totally agree. So is it time for us to go ahead and start with we'll go ahead and start with the reading for the collective, and we'll be going to Wendy first.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So our question for the collective today was, what has the full moon shown you about your relationships that needs to be released? Right. And I pulled Kuan Yin from the Mystic Sisters Oracle deck. And Kuan Yin is about compassion and empathy. It says, Kuan Yin is the Asian deity of mercy and compassion. Her name literally means observing the cries of the world. She sits at the center of a mandala and can see every point of view at once. The action this card asks of you is to find a more transcendent perspective. Realize that when we make judgments or harsh criticisms toward ourselves or others, we are likely not taking the full story into account. We've all suffered. And when we are doing well, it isn't always easy to remember what it felt like during our rocky phases. We must try to recall the details, including all the sorrows and pain, and the courage involved in making a change. This allows us to increase our empathy and gain wisdom. And I think an important part of that is also to remember that simply having compassion and empathy for others does not equate to handing your power over to them. Okay. So you can still, and in fact, I feel like this is saying, no, stand in your own power, have compassion and empathy, not only for others, but for yourself and what you've been through and your experiences and how that relates to the collective and to others, and let that expand your relationships and grow those relationships and learn, right? It's all a learning process, right? We all learn and we grow and we expand our view. And this message has come through really strong this week in Cerie's reading on Wednesday, on my reading yesterday. Really, having understanding for others and the situations that they've been through, because a lot of people, they're going through something very similar to what you have experienced or are experiencing now. And even if the story isn't the same, the energy is aligned. It is very similar. So we need to have that compassion moving forward with others and holding that space. And that allows us to, be able to move forward and accept and have that grace for ourselves as well. So hold on to your power, have compassion and empathy. Moving over to Cerie. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So I'm pulling from the Cosmic Oracle, and the message around what we need to release about relationships. This is pretty direct, so get prepared. And it says, move forward. It's a 23, which reduces to a 5, which is around change. And this card says, you cannot start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. So this is a message for probably all of us that says, you're being encouraged to let go and release the skeletons of your past. Constantly shifting back and forth between better or harder times only takes away from the today. Constantly resurrecting situations and circumstances that are long gone only serve to take away from this moment. You can exhaust valuable energy holding on to the frustrations that keep you tied to the memories of your past skeletons. So whatever it is in old relationships, this card says the past is the past. Embrace the lessons and be grateful for the memories and the adventures. Breathe in deep and let it go, because it's time to move on. So if you've had a relationship, and I'm telling you, they're cutting all the way through the closest relationships right now, spouses, best friends, siblings, children, it doesn't matter. There is no one that's immune to this. If you need to let go of a past relationship, let me repeat it again. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. So if you find yourself needing permission to let go and say, you know what, it's okay to close this one out, the universe just gave you a big sign saying it's time and it's okay to let go, to move on. Because you've got to close something out to be able to invite in the new. So that's a pretty direct message, but very apropos for this full moon that we're in. And I'm going to pass it on to Marcia.
Yeah, and I have pulled for the collective from the Intuitive Whispers Oracle deck. And I've never pulled this card before. It is a 35 card of Explore Fullness. Explore Fullness. So the second I saw that, what I wrote down was, well, that implies that we need to change perspective. Something's unfulfilled. We're looking at something in the wrong way. So, maybe this full moon is going to illuminate that. You've had some heart, a workover on your heart, but I'm going to read the description here from the book. What does fullness represent to you? So often in life, we are taught to thrive on emptiness, whether that is being celebrated for being slim or being part of a consumerist society that needs to feel empty so that we keep craving more and more to be satisfied. Let's rebel and explore the glory of fullness. It will allow you to soak up the entirety of each moment, the fullness of every emotion, and the feeling of being totally satisfied with everything. When you allow yourself to explore fullness, you may notice how many places emptiness has appeared up until now. Let's reclaim fullness as a celebration rather than a failure. Changing this perspective can change the way you enjoy your life. Think about how rich your experiences can be. So I feel like this has come out for the collective because it is so difficult for human beings to let go of people we care about. But I want you, in the lead up to this full moon, sit for a minute and ask yourself, were those relationships, mindsets, jobs, were they really fulfilling you? Were you full? And if you weren't, was it some kind of breadcrumbing? Were you deceiving yourself or something in that regard? But I just love this. Look at that beautiful waterfall just overflowing. So I feel like that's the kind of cosmic energy available to us right now when you shift your perspective about letting some of these relationships and things go from our life. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jen.
Okay, so I have pulled from the Wisdom of the Oracle. And so what has Venus shown you about your relationships to be released? And we have chaos and conflict. It's like, why is that so hard to get rid of? But I mean, I think that the first thing I'm getting is just like, it's time to stop trying to fight to be right, to stop trying to fight to be heard from people who are already like, they've made up their mind. They do not want to, they don't want to see things from the way that you see them. And then it's also like, it's showing the alignment too. And I don't remember, did I say this in my reading this week? I don't remember, but it's like, we've gotten to the place now where the shift has gotten so far apart that you can't communicate with the people. Like if you're in the 5D, you cannot communicate with the people who are in the 3D. They cannot understand you. Like you're seeing it from this whole other perspective. You see all of this stuff that they literally cannot see at this moment. And so you trying to fight to get them to see something that they just are not able to see. They are not ready to see. They're not just in that space. It's only going to frustrate you. And so the message from the book says, stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, and what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time constructively. And so, that was the gift of the Mercury retrograde too. And so now then, like, there's no need to fight about it. I think that we have our clarity now. We know where we stand. We know where they stand. There's no need to like keep hashing it out. Just, it's time to do what Suri said, move on. All right, so we're moving now to Dawn.
And I am using the Goddess Power Oracle Colette Baron Reed deck. I don't think it's one of her most well-known decks, but I love the messages that have been coming in so far. I chose this deck because Venus is ruling this full moon, and I wanted to honor her. So Pavarti, devotion. The goddess Pavarti comes now to offer her help because blind faith in others isn't serving you, and devotion to something undeserving may be showing up in your life. Ask yourself why you are so committed to someone or something you know deep down will fail you. Are you afraid of seeing things as they are? Can you remember when the devotion to the ultimate spiritual partnership was reciprocated? Consider what happens when you place your attention only on money, status, ambition, and power. The world becomes narrow and you lose connection to a higher existence and your greater good. And really what this is saying is we are looking at others, I think, instead of looking inward. What is preventing us from looking inward at what our tasks are? This relationship that we have with ourselves is the most important one. And she is letting us know that, you know, deep down is the goddess within each of us. And we need to trust her. Venus is stationing, and she will be going direct. She will be going back over Saturn, which is karma, and back over the North Node, which is where you're meant to be going. So have faith in yourself more than anyone else, and that will get you to your goal. So with that, we will head back to Wendy.
Okay. And so I am reading for Peggy. And so this is just advice from Spirit with this full moon. And this is a really old, this is the first deck I ever purchased. I was 16. So this is over 30 years ago. And it was Tarot of the Cat People. And this box is barely holding itself together. But this card is beautiful. It's rejuvenation. Okay, and you can see this woman kind of coming out of this pod. It's a really a rebirth, right? This rejuvenation. And this large cat next to her, you see these bubbles with cat faces. Those cat faces represent the past lives of this cat. And the cat is currently in its 9th life. So it's expressions and moments that are captured from its past lives. And I know Suri's been talking about our timelines kind of catching up with us and all merging into one. And I felt like this is really strongly representing that. It also represents a time of atonement, a time of forgiveness, really considering what effects your present actions have on other people, right? So it's really kind of taking all of the lessons that you have learned in past lives and your current one and shaping your future really and what you want to carry forward with you. So I think the advice here is just saying, you know, really be cognizant of that and think about the lessons that you've learned, the wounds that you have healed, how the impact you have had on others, and not just in this life, but in others. And that all kind of coming together and moving you forward and how you want that to move you forward. So I hope that resonates for you, Peggy, and Suri will take the next.
Okay. So I hope Joanne is here. Joanne, I felt called to read for you. I have not read for you, I believe. And so I pulled from the Gaia deck this evening, and I pulled a really beautiful card for you tonight, and it is called the Moonlight Goddess. All right, it's a number 2, which is oftentimes like the High Priestess, but this is around healing, reflection, and repressed emotions. So, Joanne, maybe this is something that's been going on with you. I don't know, but it says the angel depicted on this card is here to reflect back to you any repressed emotions that you may have stored inside of you. She is here to heal you through your dreams. So, you may be having some dreams about relationships or some emotions that you've had. They said, but in order to have the healing, you must pour out your heart and express how you truly feel. Do this for yourself and for others around you. Remember, all that you repress not only affects you, it also affects those around you, especially those you love the most. It is safe to acknowledge how you feel, and it is all right to cry. Again, another word of surrender. Surrender and let either this relationship go or these emotions go. You are surrounded by love and the healing energies of the Moonlight Goddess. You are eternally loved and eternally protected. In this coming month, especially with this full moon, you will reflect back on the past and give thanks and let go of any hurts and disappointments. Only the loving memories that you will keep remain inside your heart. Then once the chambers of your heart are yet again full of light, a new season begins, a new journey, a joy, a new passion. So again, this is probably a message for all of us that it's okay to cry. It's okay to let out the emotions that go with letting someone go or letting a relationship go. But a lot of you, and Joanne, you may be seeing this in your dreams, but let the Moonlight Goddess guide you, and she wants to help you heal as you close out this old chapter in any old relationships or old baggage so that you can invite in the new. And it's kind of hard to understand sometimes that we may block the new if we can't let go of the old. And so this card is a reminder that it's okay to let it out, and it's okay to express the emotion, and it's okay to close out that relationship because the Moonlight Goddess wants to heal you through your dreams. Hope that helps. And I'm going to pass it now to Marcia.
Okay, so I am reading for Heavenly. What a fantastic handle. I just love that. So, my dear, hopefully you are here in the chat still. So, with regard to some advice from Spirit for you in this full moon, Libra full moon coming up, I really got to tell you, I struggled with which deck to pull from. And I finally said, should I pull from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck? And I got an Ace of Pentacles. So that was like, yes, this is your deck, my love. I like to pull tarot cards. That's why. But it just wasn't, I wasn't feeling the flow there for you. But I pulled for you this gorgeous Wise Woman of the Grove. As you can see, the sunlight is illuminating an ancient tribal grandmother energy here for you. And a beautiful ruby stone is lit up in that forest. So I'm going to read kind of the meditation and then a little advice from this, but intuitively, the key word here is grace. So in the, this crescendo lead up to this full moon, and in the time of the full moon and the letting go and all the stuff that we talked about happening at this time and over these cycles, you really are being granted the gift of grace in these moments. So the Wise Woman of the Grove steps forward and hands you an intricately carved wooden box. This is my gift for you. Guard it well. With care, you open the box, and inside rests a perfect ruby. It sparkles in the light. This is a joy activator, she says. Hold it to your heart, and all around you, in all directions, all beings will relax and find joy in the moment. Joy is the greatest gift that you can activate, and it is a gift of grace. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a remarkable time of ease, wisdom, healing, joy, and inspiration. Your ability to hear the voices of spirit is rapidly expanding. Spirit guardians are watching over you with immense love and kindness. In the state of grace, being in a state of grace means being blessed by divine forces. Grace can mean having enough inner nobility that even if you know your opinion is absolutely right, you do not push the point. You are willing to drop it, knowing that in the great scheme of things, it's not that important. Besides, the Creator knows the truth of the situation, even if others don't. The spirit of the wise woman of the grove says, you can relax and let go. Your path is guided. Spiritual nobility is growing within you. The spirit of grace is softly unfolding in your life. Kindly honor the truth of others, even if you don't agree or even if you know better. Wow, heavenly. So I just feel like that is such a beautiful card. That spiritual nobility is something that really jumped out at me, and just being able in the moment to know that you are the wise one, you know the truth, Creator knows the truth, and other people don't have to agree with you. And expanding into some beautiful spiritual gifts for you. So enjoy that. Obviously, you did your Saturn work, and congratulations, my dear. I'm going to hand it over to Miss Jen.
Okay, I am pulling for Michelle. And so I use the Enchanted Map Oracle for you, and we have your advice at this time is cleaning house. And so it's about clearing space. And so if you want new stuff to come in, you've got to get the old stuff out first. And so when you're thinking about the clearing space, it's not even just like the physical clutter that I'm feeling. It's like we've got to get rid of the mental clutter, the energetic clutter. And so just anything that you're still holding on to that, like, it's like the hoarding of the energy. And so we want to be able to let it flow again. So that's why we have to start like clearing it out. So it's time to clear the clutter and make way for better things. When you see the cleaning house card in a reading, it's time to declutter your life, get rid of unwanted things in your physical home, and release what you no longer want or truly need. Is there any unfinished business that you should address? Thoughts, memories, or emotional baggage must be swept out of your house as well. Your conscience must be clear for you to move freely in the world. Celebrate a spring cleaning and feel the freedom as you make way for much better things. Look at what you've resisted discarding and be honest about its value. Be honest, clean house. And so it's like that's almost the Marie Kondo thing. It's like you're holding it up. You know, does this bring me joy? And if it doesn't, you're getting rid of it. All right. So moving forward now with Dawn.
Hello. Okay, so I am going to be reading for, and I already have it picked out. So Ruby, I felt called to read for you, Ruby, and what came out was, oops, I'm just clumsy today. Sophia, Divine Wisdom. And the thing I love about this is it's number 48 card, but Sophia represents the High Priestess in the tarot deck. So in case all of you did not know, she is a tarot card reader. She's one of the recent graduates from MJ's class, along with some others who are here. So I think Denise, give a shout out too. I know she was from that class as well. So with Sophia, there's two lines that really struck me in this. Human wisdom comes from personal experience, but divine wisdom is unknown to our life experience. When we receive it, it is often life-altering and affects us in ways beyond our comprehension. So I think that is what's coming in for us. That's that High Priestess energy. You know, we're asking for what comes next and then trusting in it. And I feel that you know how to keep that higher connection. And what is going to be coming in for you is what is destined to come in for you because of Venus going direct hitting that north node, having the wisdom of Saturn, having Mercury, all of those are conjunct. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power moving forward. And I feel that with you keeping that daily connection, that this is going to really push you forward with what's going to be going on. So I know sometimes, people can feel aggravation because we don't know what's coming next. But we do know what's coming next is the north node, and it's fated energy for all of us that's coming forward. So it's what's meant for our greatest and highest good. So take heart in that we're only going to be better because of it. So I'm wishing you much joy, Ruby, as you move forward. And we'll go back to Wendy.
Hello. Okay, so I am reading for Venus, and I pulled a card from Tarot of the Divine. And I know we've had, a lot of kind of heavy cards come out, and like really like big energy, and like, is there big moments, and a lot of work and all of these things. And it kind of made me laugh when this card came out because it's so light. It's just like so light and airy and fun. And it's the Page of Swords. And it represents youthful intelligence, using your wit to succeed where others have failed, optimism intact through it all. She's a harbinger of new beginnings and new ideas for herself and those around her. And I felt like this is so light and airy in the midst of all of this other kind of really big, almost heavy energy, where it's like, I feel like you've done the work. So you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's hit it. Let's get on to the next thing. So this was actually really refreshing. Thank you. I hope that does ring true for you, and you are just carrying that lightness with you. I think that will spread to others around you and really help to uplift them as well. So thank you. All right, Sari.
Okay. And I am going to read for ADA, and it's great to see you. I know you stepped out for a moment, but you'd asked a question about what you needed maybe to join. And also you talked about the fact that you've been crying. And I want to thank you for being vulnerable enough to show that, because when we repress our emotions, we're actually blocking our ability to clear the energy. So if you've not given yourself permission to cry, hey, this is your permission. Cry all you need to get it out and to process the emotions, but not to hold on to them in your energetic body. And so I'm really glad that you are crying, ADA, and it's a healthy sign that you are expressing your emotions and not holding it back. And if anyone needed to hear that, it's okay to let these emotions out. You also ask about, should you join something? And I think there's a reason that you're asking the question. And I pulled this from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And this card says, Beyond the Ordinary. And it's a 45 card, which reduces to a 9, which is all about completion. And ADA, this says, the mystical, ineffable part of life, trusting in the invisible world without understanding it, recognizing that some things cannot be known in advance and are not meant to be grasped intellectually, the awareness that everything as it should be, even if it doesn't make sense to you. So beyond our ordinary worlds defined by our memory, our intellect, and our 5 senses is a mystical realm of beauty, magic, and extraordinary potential. This is what we call the spiritual realm. And when you want to know what is to come, the nature of something, or where you're headed, it's natural to turn to a trusted oracle and expect an answer that might inform your view of how things will be. Sometimes this is not possible because the elements cannot be named or yet are not in place. Things may still be in flux, so you cannot know and may not be able to know for a period of time. Now, the mystery about this is not knowing. So the mystery is a mystery because it is at present unknowable and as of yet unmade. What is waiting for you, then this is the most important, lies behind the ordinary. It's actually extraordinary, but it has not yet chosen its shape, its path, and the manner by which it will be delivered or manifested. Your job right now is to have faith and to stay the course. Allowing whatever to come will be exactly as it will without trying to ascertain anything in advance. So there may be some things right now, ADA, that you don't understand or have not been shown to you. And as I know you are doing the work. You may not have seen the fruits of your labor like the Seven of Pentacles. You've planted all the seeds and you're waiting for it to manifest. And the mystery right now is the unknown, and it's still in process for you. Your next steps, what is going to be on the other side of this full moon in terms of what you are welcoming in as you are closing some old cycles. So my intuition says stay the course, have faith and trust, do not give up, allow your emotions to come through, and you're going to see this silver lining in a cloud after we get through this full moon that's going to illuminate a pathway that you probably didn't even anticipate. So the unknowingness right now is the mystery. It's uncomfortable because we do want to know what the path is, but the path hasn't been necessarily put in concrete just yet. So have faith. You've done your work. It's going to manifest. Continue the course and don't give up, please. And it's okay to cry. Hope that helps. And I will pass it on to the lovely Marcia.
Okay, and so this round I am reading for Angela. So Angela, get your butt up here in the hot seat, my dear. I have pulled for you, actually cards jumped out for you. So I'm only going to talk to you about the first one that popped out, but it tells quite a story, my dear, of somebody who has been holding her boundaries firm. And I'm just going to say that I am so proud of you, because Emperor energy is not easy energy, right? Emperor has a lot on their shoulders. Emperor is all four of the kings, meaning what I hear is like all four of the elements. Like Angela's been holding up everybody and everything, including herself, and doing a damn good job of it, whether you know it or not. And we were talking off camera before we started the show, and I mentioned to the ladies that in the astrology degree theory, these next couple of days are really where people can shoot themselves in the foot. They can really just all the hard work, and they can mess it up in one moment. And if you're feeling some pressure in the lead up to the full moon, I just want you to stay the course, because 4 other cards jumped out that I'm not going to pull up here, but I promise you that just on the other side of this full moon is exactly what you're looking for, exactly what you've wanted to manifest. Old timelines are done, and there are riches just waiting for you. So get through this weekend, and just know that you've done some really solid work over a long period of time to get here, and you should be very proud of yourself. Okay. So with that, we're going to transfer it back to Miss Jen.
Okay, let's see. I have pulled for share. Let's see. Okay. So I pulled with the Enchanted Map Oracle, and we have Ghostlands. And so this card is talking about being in the present. It's I think that there's a lot of anxiety about what's coming, or maybe not even anxiety, just anticipation about what's coming. But the future hasn't fully solidified yet, and that's why you're not seeing it just yet. And I've had several readings where it's like, what we're doing right now is like planting the seeds for what's coming later. And so like I've had just several people that they can't see past the next 3 months because it's not even created yet. It's like what they are doing right now is literally that important. I think that that's where you're at too. And so with the Ghostlands, you can live from the past and imagine a beautiful future, but you must live in the here and now. Whenever you set your sights too far ahead, you run the risk of losing your footing. For rarely do the present and the future match up exactly on the enchanted map that is your life story. Your future has no substance right now. It is a place that has no grounding as of yet. You can't live there, yet you can take measured steps towards a goal or a dream. These steps are important now. The same goes for nostalgia. You can look into the past wistfully and remember beautiful moments or revisit lessons learned. However, you can't live there, nor can you go back and change what was. Yesterday is gone forever. Live fully in the present. The now is the most powerful place to put your attention. Its magic reaches out in every direction, further than your heart and soul can see. And so, like I said, what you're doing right now is what matters the most. And so you've got to stay present so that you're even seeing the opportunities just that are right there, right in front of you, so that you don't miss them, so that you can get on the path that it is that you're wanting. All right. So who's next? Dawn. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling for Deborah, and it really follows along very well with what you just said, Jen. So I'm actually really excited because she had questions regarding her career, and to me, it's kind of saying trust in spirit. This card. This is called a merry motive. Oops, there we go. I want to make sure I get there. That's much prettier. So there's a few lines in here that struck me. You've chosen a path, you've set an intention, and you've begun to move toward a goal. You must choose to be in the flow of the experience, relishing the moment. Surrender your expectations to a higher power rather than being guided by your limited self. This is the message. Trust that the universe will give you this or something better. Ask for that, this or something better, this or something better. Because a lot of times the careers that are going to exist in a year, 2 years, 3 years are something we can't even imagine right now, especially during this time frame, because Uranus is going to be going into Gemini. There's going to be new things being created. There's going to be new job opportunities. So trust in that higher power for your greatest and highest good for your career, and enjoy the moments along the way as you're moving to get there. This is actually, I love this because it's such an affirming thing that the universe has got your back. Just trust that it's going to, the North Node is there. That's what I keep saying to everybody. It's going to be fine. The North Node is there. The North Node is going to get us where we want to go. Just ask for something that is even beyond your wildest imagination, and let the universe take it from there. So will we be going back to Wendy? There we go.
Yeah, and actually it's funny. The card I pulled for the next person is really along similar lines. So I pulled a card for Gypsy Vixen, and I pulled from the Mystic Sisters Oracle deck, and I got Metatrina. And Metatrina is all about rewards, success, and celebration. It's the Roman goddess of wine. Hallelujah. Metatrina is traditionally celebrated when the grapes are harvested. She symbolizes health and longevity. Wine is poured back into the earth out of gratitude for her abundance and as an offering for another successful harvest. Drawing this card is an indication that after a period of hard work and tremendous effort, a time of celebration has finally come. She urges you to focus on gratitude for all you have been given. Realize the many gifts life has rewarded you with. It is spiritually beneficial to give back as well. Act charitably. Participate in the cycle of good fortune, and good fortune will continue to come your way. I love that. I say, let's all have a glass of wine. All right, so moving on to Sari. What have you got?
All right, I'm going to read for Shirley. Hi, Shirley. How are you tonight? I'm reading from the Shaman's Dream. And your card tonight is called the Woodwives. And this is all around adaptability. And the definition is the woodwives dance into your dreams. You can see this woodwife dancing And it's a really beautiful depiction here in the dream. You need to know who you are, what you will tolerate, what you've learned to date, and what boundaries to set so you feel good about yourself. Life is going to offer you something extraordinary now. And in order to learn and receive the blessings, you must remember that being grounded gives you more freedom and not less. You have everything that you need, Shirley. You have all it takes to do this right now. If you also keep reminding yourself to be flexible and go with the flow, you will be amazed at how well things play out for you. The Woodwives are both wisdom keepers and students of the new world and the new earth, as these forest spirits have an uncanny ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Perhaps you are being given the opportunity to take a chance on something new right now, and you're not sure how far you can go without losing your footing. Have no fear, for when you remember your roots, your integrity, your authentic self, you can stretch yourself beyond the invisible line that you may have drawn. Go for it, Shirley. You will be so glad you did. That's your message for this full moon. And I'll pass along to Marsha.
Okay, so I am drawing for Tourmaline Tarot. And I don't know if you asked for a reading or not, but I was drawn to you when Jen mentioned you in the chat. And as I was looking around, I kept getting pulled to this brand new deck. I have never used this in a reading. This is the Enchanted for Hoxa, which means enlightened. So the Enchanted Enlightened Tarot. And it felt very much your energy. And the card I pulled for you is this Six of Cups. So in this rendition, you notice the balancing there, similar to the balancing of the scales with the white and the dark. But she is open in receiving divine downloads, but balancing her light and her dark. And what I was really struck here is all of the birds on one side and really only one on the other. So that one big crow balancing all of the others on the other side. So somewhere I feel like with this full moon, well, I'm just going to tell you intuitively what really came out to me is that you're going to sing. You've got lots to say. And you've been just in this really balanced receiving energy for a while. And that crow, man, crows have just been coming out everywhere. So you might want to look up the spirit totem, right, for the crow. But also there is what do I want to say? A prominent, I guess, what's the word? A creator. I'm sorry, a creator that I came across a couple of weeks ago. And he is called the Human Design Maven. And the only reason I'm bringing this up to you is because his guides have told him about this raven energetic kind of person that's going to, like, the new incarnation is more in the raven spirit. I know I'm not saying that right because honestly, I didn't watch the whole episode. I was going to go back and catch it, but there is something in this raven for you. There is something in this raven spirit being able to sing now or getting your voice back and through all this Venus retrograde, or I'm sorry, all these retrogrades and with this full moon. So hopefully that resonates for you, my dear. Like I said, this is just the first time I've used this deck with any type of client. So intuitively, we're just going to have to go with, caged birds don't sing kind of. And I feel like you've gotten your wings back, or whatever all this chattering was around you, you were able to integrate it, defer it, reflect it, balance it. And now your spirit is about to sing. So with that, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. Back over to Sari.
All right. We've had some beautiful messages, and thanks to everyone in the community who's joined us this evening. Just as a reminder, we do have a series that we started on archangels. We've posted 2 on Archangel Michael and Gabriel in the last couple of weeks. We'll have the next one coming out next Monday, and you will enjoy them. And we are together live on Saturday evening, the 12th at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we've already posted the link and the information. And again, we have daily videos 5 days a week, and we are so grateful for all of you. Just power through this full moon and hold your breath and release and relax. And these messages are beautiful because you've all done the work, and we're all in this together. We're holding hands as one community. We send you much love and grace and compassion this evening, and we will see you next time. Thank you again. Love to all.